souls. Hey, it says, do not judge or you will be judged. Matthew 7, verse 1. Another timeless information given by one of the greatest of all time, right? So that information you found in other books as well. But it's so profound and so deep that when you do the science and you do the study, you find out that judging is ingrained in our subconscious. And it came through what science would say through evolution of the brain as well. So of course we judge to assess threats, to make sure that the people that are around us, it's not gonna, hurt us, the places, the things, all that. So judgment at one point was important to our evolution. But the problem is, it became such habitual that we end up doing it beyond the necessity of it. And because we do it so often and so much, it creates an off balance, right? And when it's off balance, what happens is that it has its negative effects. For example, when we start to judge someone, we end up reflecting the flaws or the shadows that's within us in other people, because we're thinking, they shouldn't be doing this, or we start judging them for a whole bunch of stuff that we find in ourselves that we don't like, and we apply it to another human being. And what it does, it creates an inner critic that we think everyone else is judging us, even when they're not. It creates a false sense of monitoring in a negative bias. Believe it or not, as much as we think they are, people are really not focused on us. They're focused on themselves and their insecurities. They're focused on the things that is affecting them, and we think they're focused on us. So anytime there's a little judgment we feel, or there's something coming negative from someone, right away we're thinking, man, they're judging us. But in reality, it's because we're judging ourselves and we're judging them. It's also a superior, what's the word for it? A superiority complex, that we think we're better than people. In reality, we're not, right? God made us the way we are for a reason, and no one is better than no one. Point blank, period. We all have our gifts, like I said before. But when we judge, we try to put people in places that they don't belong. Now, in order to slow down the judgment, it's best to observe without judgment. You can observe, but don't judge, right? And what you can also do, you can have self-compassion for yourself. When you have self-compassion for yourself, you tend not to judge others, because you know you're not perfect either. You know that you have flaws that if you was to be judged on those, you wouldn't really stand out as much as you think that you do, So it's really important that we learn to observe more than judge. We learn to have compassion for ourselves and others, and notice that the negative effects that judgment have on people and have on us. So the sooner we can find these things and have compassion and have grace for others, the better we can live. Love and light.